for both girls and boys.
And I'm Devin Setliff, the head volleyball coach.
And Rodney Martin, head football coach.
All right. Welcome back, Coach Martin. Seems like
Good
I
to
just
be back.
talked to you.
Just last week.
Yeah. Well, let's start with you on this
Okay.
one. All right. Last week, again, looking better.
We did. Shenandoah, they're a 2A program, and, the north end of the county's familiar with them. They've been in a conference with them for several years, and it was just a 2-year deal for us. This was our second year playing these guys. They came down to our place. Legit 2A program. They carried 50-some kids on their roster. They were bigger, faster, stronger. But I'm going to tell you, our kids, like I said last week, we're young, but we're pretty resilient. And our guys, we took a step forward the first half. We played really well. We did some things better, and that's what I've been telling our guys from week to week is we just want to see things getting better. What are you improving on from week to week? And we try to point things out, and we put them up on the board for them to see every day at practice. Here's our focus for this week. Here's our focus for this day, and that's what we try to go out and work on. And we saw some things improve, specifically in the first half Friday. And then, with a 23-man roster, we got gassed in the second half. But our kids were playing their hearts out, and I think that's just where it came down to is they were a bigger, faster, stronger team than us. But on the flip side, our guys played through the end, and that was one thing I told them that I was very proud of them is even though the score was lopsided like it was, we didn't lay down and quit. We continued to fight through that game. So, they're young. They're still learning a lot, still learning how to play a game of football. A lot of them never come off the field. So, on top of that, they're going both ways, and they're having to learn a lot of different things. But they're improving, and I couldn't be prouder of them.
Crowd? Shown up, shown out.
Oh, it was. We had a very large crowd. Very large crowd. Didn't realize how big it was till I counted all the ticket sales and concession stand money and everything, and realized, wow, we had a massive crowd. And that's one thing. Like I said last week at South, we people come and watch. They come, and no matter where we're at, home game, away game, we know we're going to have people showing up to support us, and that's the one thing that's really nice to know. And it's nice for the guys to be able to see the crowd there supporting them no matter what.
And you and I talked about it last week. It's a culture thing. I know that's cliche, but it is a culture. It's building the culture is one, and then maintaining it consistently is two. Mm-hmm. And I think South End, I think it's on the right path.
It is. It's on the right path, and I think we might have mentioned this again last week too. But we see it with our girls' sports. We see it across the board on both boys and girls. Is the cultures they're building, they're improving, they're getting better. But, in terms of the football side of things, yes. And football is one of those things that you can't just fix it overnight. It takes several years to fix and to get that type of culture and everything back because, it's not like a basketball team. And I'm not dissing on basketball or anything like that, but if you can get 3 or 4 really good players, you're probably going to have a good team. Football is a numbers game. You have to have a lot of, you have to have numbers. If we could get up and consistently be in the mid-30s, that would drastically change a lot of things that we can do. And we're getting there. We see it with our junior high team right now. We see it in our youth program. The numbers are solid. Now it's just on my part as the head varsity coach to keep those kids coming out once they hit that freshman year of high school.
So 23 players. How injury report?
Unfortunately,
get anybody in trouble, but that's a lot of
we did.
players.
We have 3 that won't be able to play with us Friday night. Okay. And one of them is more of a, without getting too technical about things, he just had an infection, and the medicine he's taking is keeping him from playing. It's a really strong steroid to kill the infection. And the other 2 are injuries. Not serious, but it's enough that they're going to have to sit at least this week, maybe 2 weeks. So, all starters. So that does. So this week we've been working on readjusting and putting some different kids in different places, but thing is they buy in. They buy in. They're going to do whatever we ask them to do, and they have been. So that's the nice thing about it is even though we're young, we're low on numbers, these kids are doing whatever they can to do what the coaches ask of them. And, we head into this Friday. We'll be starting we'll be starting 4 freshmen, 4 sophomores, maybe 5 sophomores without looking at it closely, 3 seniors, and 2 juniors. So that's a little bit. Some are on defense, some are going both ways. So, I mean, when you look at that, we're pretty young.
Iron Man football right there.
Iron Man football.
Old school Iron Man football.
Yeah, and our guys, we preached to them this week. I said, John Harrell, he does a great job. If you ever been on that site, all the information he puts out is amazing. But up to this point, we've played the strongest. We have the strongest strength of schedule in 1A up to this point in the season. Mm-hmm. So that's what I took that back to our guys. I said, we know how good North is. Shenandoah, obviously, we saw them. And so, you guys, those are 2 of the best teams we'll play all year. We still have Milan yet, but, if we can continue to get better and be competitive and go out and fight against those guys, we can go out and fight against anybody.
Switch gears. Friday, Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, yeah.
So
they're kind of in the same boat we are. They have a 20 – they might have a 25-man roster. I don't know their injury report off the top of my head, but they're kind of in the same boat we are. They just don't have a lot of numbers.
They're another relentless program.
They are.
I've over the last 3-4 years, I've been at games, and they've been pushing 100-0 at times.
Yeah,
and those kids are still going out. They're still playing. They're still.
They do.
They have the heart, and they're just relentless.
And that's the one thing that can count on with Edinburgh. It doesn't matter. They could be and they could be on at one point they were on a 70-some game lose streak or something like it was I think they set a state record with it, but you didn't dare overlook them because regardless of that, you go out and you play Edinburgh and they were playing hard. They didn't stop. They kept going at it. We've got a little bit of work cut out for us this Friday. We can't overlook them.
They bounced back. Sure. I don't know. Maybe it was 4 or 5 years ago. It had like a
they had a
7-3 or
they had a couple good years
6-4 season or something like that.
They did.
Decent year for their program.
They had a quarterback to come through and just some nice skill guys around him that could complement his skill set and their line. They did. They were good enough to do what they needed to do, and that 7-3, I think, is what they went, something like that.
Yeah. Probably pretty easier to prepare too. They're pretty traditional in terms of defense. And
they are. We'll see a standard 4-3 out of them, and they like to spread it out and try to throw it around everywhere. So pretty traditional in today's football world. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nothing too fancy.
No.
So. All right, we'll switch to volleyball here for a little bit. Coach Setliff, how we doing? Welcome to Overtime.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So, not the outcome we wanted last night either.
Oh, no, not at all. So,
but that's okay.
Yes, it's okay. It's a learning curve.
Lost a lot of, haven't been on here yet, lost a lot of seniors last year.
Yep. So, very young team.
A lot of leadership. Mm-hmm. So, how are we rebuilding leadership this year?
We are starting off super strong, I think. We only have 2 girls returning that are from starting varsity and played full-time varsity last year. But those 2 girls are stepping up. Taylor Summers is probably one of my strongest leaders we have out there, especially her being a setter's role. And then my one and only senior, Reagan Harrison, she does an excellent job of stepping up and taking that senior role. And her going from not being full-time varsity to now full-time, seeing Reagan blossom is just, oh my gosh, it's amazing. She's out there leading those girls. She's hyping them up. And it's just really fun. We have probably the funnest group of girls I think I've ever had in a very, very long time. And as long as we're happy, I think we're going to be undefeated throughout the rest of the season.
And I think with volleyball, football, we're at 10 games.
10 including 10, the first round of the sectional, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A little different Friday night. Volleyball is an underrated. Cross country is very underrated schedule.
Yeah.
Just thinking of the running makes me tired. But volleyball, 3 sets, sometimes, and the schedule.
Yeah.
How are you maintaining that with the change this year? You're building leadership at the same time. You're rolling out a heavy schedule, and it doesn't stop.
Yeah, and I think being so young is what helps us, because these girls they don't know any different. So if you're a volleyball player, you're used to playing 3 games a week plus a tournament on Saturday, so you're used to go. But I have a great coaching staff, so we just keep our practices are fully functioning start to finish. We typically try to keep it at the pace of what it would be like to go 5 sets in our practices. But mostly it's our girls are just so resilient. They're fighters. They're going to do whatever it takes. They're going to put in that work. They're always tired. If you ask them, their answer is we're always tired, but it's just they just know how to roll with it. But being so young is what's helping them.
Next up, what's our schedule looking like this week?
We have Brown County tomorrow.
I knew the Brown County, but
and then Saturday we have our first ever Cougar Classic round robin. That starts. We play Switzerland County at 9 a.m. and then we finish up with Crothersville at 11. And it's our first ever home in house tournament, so we're really excited for that. Cool. We should pretty much sweep them, so it should be an easy. Hopefully we get our Cougar Classic.
Is that a Charles Barkley guarantee right there?
I think so.
Are we hitting the button?
I hope not. I probably just jinxed us all. But no, we've got such a good group of girls that even with our tough loss against South Dearborn last night, I still think we are the better team. My girls just beat themselves. They're their own worst enemy. But they are the most resilient team and the happiest team, and I think we can beat anybody.
Well, they'll get game time reps. I've always said as a coach and as a sports fan, game time reps are the best reps you can get.
Yep.
So the more game time reps you can get, I mean, in practice you can do everything, but it's a different speed, different tenacity, different attitude in a game.
And having so many games allows us to have that more real feel. And have that practice, because we have the games that like conference are our top priorities and then sectionals teams are our top priorities. So the games in between, we are lucky compared to all the other sports, because if we lose, it sucks and we get upset about it, but it doesn't hurt us. It only helps us because it gives us more time to like practice and move and adjust throughout the week versus just, we only play once, one and done. So we get chances to improve.
Number-wise, where are you at number-wise? Because it looked like to me the match that I watched, you're running probably 8 rotations, solid 8.
Yep, I have a solid 8. That's usually what I keep. Just because it's hard to be on the bench in a sport like volleyball. And so I believe if you got your core 8, that's all I need. And these girls are proving it. My 8 that I have this year, they're phenomenal girls. It is hard, though, because I will say when they do get in a little pickle, you look on the sidelines and you don't have a lot of people, but my girls know that and they understand that, so they always just push through it and persevere.
All right, Coach.
All right, well, that doesn't make me feel so bad because I have 8 as well, so I always think we're really, really
I'm impressed
small.
you have 1 running.
I know. So, bless them.
So, how we looking there with runners? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not up to my sports knowledge with cross country too much.
So we're just thankful that we can run at the Southeastern Baptist Youth Camp, and we've been able to have our invitational out there already this year. And then we run North Vidipides on Tuesday, and I have 5 girls and 3 boys. So we're looking low, and I mean I'm thinking like, okay, what am I going to talk about? But just building those numbers back up, and I had no freshman girls move in, and I have 2 senior girls. So it's just, as I had no seniors last year, so it's just the cards are not looking great when you come to junior high. So I'm looking for runners.
Do you see any benefits this year with the weather? Like, this time last year, it's pretty hot.
Yeah.
But we're dealing with, by the time you guys finish, at least, we're in the 70s probably.
Yeah, especially we had a couple practices where we were in the heat wave and in the orange where we had to give 4-minute breaks. So that was difficult with running because then I had to make sure they stopped and make sure they took a break. But I also always say that if you don't put in the miles over the summer, then we're not looking at, just building your miles up in the summer helps in the fall. So, yeah.
So who's some key runners right now?
So Brianna Benefiel and Andrea Brogan are my 2 senior girls, and they're leading great. But I'm also missing a number 1 boy runner, which I'll talk a little bit about because most people know that he's sitting his junior year out and he'll be back his senior year. So Nick Hunter has definitely been like a leader of mine that has taken a step back because of torn injuries and things. So we'll look forward to just having him back next year as well.
Okay. So coming up, you said you have the North.
They call it Fiddipides.
Yes.
So Scott Johnson.
Not even going to attempt it.
You know how to say it.
You think I would know how to say it, but I do not.
Yeah. So it's kind of like the bucket game. It's been the rotating trophy, and 16 years I think now. Scott Johnson started that trophy, and now we're filling the back with the plaques, and we just pass that trophy back and forth.
So how many meets do you typically have a year?
Would you say 11?
I'd say we usually shoot for 10 to 11 or something,
Including,
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Mostly invitationals.
Yep.
Yeah.
So now we used to go to South Dearborn for our sectional, and now we go to Brown County. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to get some runners out when you're down there with the big schools.
Down there.
Yeah. So we like the hills at the Baptist camp. That gets them ready.
All right. How do you, since all three of you are here, how's it been supporting? I know you have the runners and sharing gym time, gym space, and that's always a question. And sharing athletes, that was a question. How's that?
Oh, we're blessed at South. All of the coaches, we all get along really great. We all work really. Our communication between the three of us is really good. Like if Bethany, if we ever need ice baths, I'm like, Bethany, can we borrow your ice baths? And she knows, like, when we did a couple of summers ago, we did all team conditioning together. So we had football boys in with volleyball mixed in with cross country, and it's fun. We all just really work really good together.
Yeah, we haven't had as much this year with all of a sudden we get lightning and can't have to come in off the cross country course or off the football field. But like Coach said, I echo that. Everybody gets along really well, and we know that if there's a lightning going on outside and the football team and the cross country team has to come inside, then we just we make it work.
We just found
there's
a
no
space.
reason not to make it work, so that's what we do. And we just we try to respect each other's what they've got to do in terms of practice or trying to finish up a practice, and we respect that. And but that's the one thing from an athletic director standpoint, I see that our coaches they work so well together, and we don't have a lot of athletes that we share. We don't get a lot of that. We've had it here and there at times, and if we do, we have that kid that wants to try to do two sports. Then the coaches work at making it work. Yeah. Are
you guys seeing more of the small schools going to a one sport athlete, or are you still seeing it? Because that's something big schools, when you talk to somebody from a big school and you talk about, he's a 3, sometimes 4 sport athlete. Yeah. They're like, no way. So are you seeing more?
I would say with our girls' side, I don't see it necessarily as much. We see them doing at least 2 sports.
Yeah, I think honestly with our girls, they almost do too many sports at one time. Yeah. So the girls are almost running themselves ragged.
I know that always becomes a problem.
Yeah.
How they're going to split their time.
Because I know a lot of my volleyball girls, they're in the gym for 6-7 hours. Because they go from volleyball to basketball to cheerleading.
Softball.
And softball.
Yeah.
I'd say for the most part, we encourage them to run both. Like, I mean, you're always telling your football guys to get into the track, and I would love if like more of the basketball guys would come out, because I've seen that time and time again of the basketball guys are like, thanks for getting me in shape. I can get up and down the court now. But that would just prepare them. I've seen that.
And boys, not too much. I don't think, not nearly as bad as what
No, it's gotten a little bit better in terms of boys not just choosing one. Most of our athletes at least play 2 sports. We encourage 3, but with the way summer things are now, the lack, how much you can do in the summer. I don't necessarily fault a kid if they just want to do 2 sports, because their whole summer's going to be taken up too. We encourage them to play as many sports as they can, because they only get 4 years to do it, and once that 4 years is over, they don't have those opportunities again. So, no, as a football coach, I always see guys walk in the hallway that I'd be like, he should be playing football. Why isn't he playing football? And vice versa. Every coach can walk down the hallway and say, why isn't that,
Why isn't she
playing volleyball? Why aren't they running cross country for crying out? They run track. Why don't they run, So, but you don't see it too much. I don't, if it's just a kid that's playing one sport, I kind of am like, let's find something else to do, But if they're playing 2, we're pretty excited that they're at least playing multiple sports for us. Yeah.
All right, we're going to pause real quick, and we'll be back with the South Decatur crew. This is Overtime. All right, welcome back to Overtime. I'm your host, Nick Messer. We're here in studio with the South Decatur crew, Coach Fromer, Coach Setliff, and Coach Martin. Coach Setliff, we'll start with you. Let's talk about, we didn't really hit on injuries. Anything we need to know?
Oh, knock on wood.
How we doing there with health?
Luckily, knock on wood, we are all good. Couple soreness, but that just happens about this time of the season. We might be a little sore tomorrow. My girl's kind of painted to the floor a little bit today. But no, luckily we've been blessed, no injuries. We had one early on our JV girls team side. We had a girl twist her ankle during one of our fun practices, but we got her back last week, so she's bounced back really good. But so far we've been blessed. Hopefully we keep staying blessed.
Good news. It's always good news. Stay healthy.
Oh yeah,
especially small numbers. I mean, let's. Last week we kind of hit on it a little bit. What's youth looking like? I mean, we have junior high. Let's talk a little bit about junior high.
Yeah, junior high. Yeah, junior high and youth. And from the football side of things, junior high is doing really well. They are actually undefeated at this point. They've knocked off Milan, and then they had Brown County. They've had Henryville, and then last night they knocked off North Decatur. So they've, Coach Wall and Coach Rohr and Coach Vandenberg, they're doing an outstanding job. Those guys, they've got them in line. They, it's almost You watch them enter and exit the locker room, and they walk together to the pickup line for parents. I mean, it's almost like military-like the way they've got them. Bam, bam, bam.
They are a strong
but
unit.
That's one thing that they do. They are disciplined with those boys, and so junior high's looking good. They've got 20, I want to say 23 or 24. So the numbers for us at junior high is pretty solid. That's a really good number for us. And then our youth program, the numbers are still very good. I think we are pushing anywhere between, I think it's 17 to maybe 20 per team. And that would be, we've got our what we call our C team, which is the first and second graders, and then we've got the B team, which is third and fourth, and then the A team is fifth and sixth. And we've got some really good guys down there helping us at that level, and they're having success. We've last year the first year or 2 years ago? I think it might have been last year. It was either last year or 2 years ago. We joined in the league that Batesville and North Decatur had kind of formed a few years back, the Eastern Indiana Youth Football League, and that was, we'd kind of bounced around, couldn't really find a home, and we'd been playing in a league that we had to travel down. We were playing New Albany and Floyd Central and Jeffersonville, and so we did well per se. The travel was horrendous, of course, but so I guess it was about 3 years ago when I took over as head coach. I approached Evan Ulrey, the Batesville coach, and Coach Stern about South potentially joining that league. And
it is
a tough league.
That'll help get them.
It is, and it's
cakewalk.
actually expanded. It's expanded. We now have 2 host sites each day instead of just one. I mean, we got our original guys, but the original teams, and then Indy Lutheran, Trinity Lutheran, James County, and Brown County all got accepted, and they joined in this year. So it's a 9-team youth league now. But it's pretty solid. It's a really good league, and we've been very happy, and it's really helped our youth program by getting into that league and having some consistency, and just it gets us some familiarity now. There for a long time, we weren't playing North in anything, until we got in junior high.
Right.
Now we're getting to see them at youth, and in Greensburg, who will be playing varsity next year, week 2. So we'll be playing them in youth, and we don't play them in junior high, but we play them in youth. So it's not going to be like a shock if we have to play them when it comes high school time. But and then we let Brown County and Trinity in because they're going to be. They're in our football conference, or they will be eventually, and so it's been good. So youth is doing well, junior high is doing well, and my varsity team they're fighting their tail ends off every week. So things are looking good for South. Even though currently when you just look at our record at the high school level, people might differ, but the people that differ with that aren't the ones that see what's going on each and every day.
I think the ones that see it are the ones that are helping those ticket sales.
Yeah.
So they'll get there.
Right.
Get there. Coach Setliff, what about junior high volleyball, youth volleyball, any camps or anything coming up?
So we'll have our spring camps coming up. I wish we had football numbers so where we could do an elementary camp like throughout the season. But finding coaches for volleyball is a bit. We've got a lot of coaches in the stands, but we don't have a lot of people that want to put it forth out there for us. And I would love us if everyone would love to help me start the elementary. I would absolutely be all for it. I think our girls could really get it. We've got new coaches in our middle school program, and Zori Sharp and Katie and Tunez. I always butcher her last name. They're fantastic down there. Our girls are doing the growth that we've already seen from the past 2 years in the middle school has completely changed with those 2 girls. Zori played throughout middle school until she came under me, and I kind of scared her off, so she quit high school. So we lost a big player for that when Zori was in school. But her love for the sport and Katie's the disciplinary. She keeps those girls in line, keeps everything running smooth, and our middle school program's going up. But I would love to see an elementary program kick up. But kind of with the plays and the musicals the elementary does, it makes it a little harder for volleyball. But I would definitely love to
Do you
get
see
that
any?
going.
Are you having any conflicts with what is it? Havoc? Is that what it is over there now? Or
Not too much. It's Havoc. Havoc's the club
Havoc's
over
the club.
in oh gosh, I forgot the
How's it?
town.
Hope.
Over Hope and
Hope.
Columbus.
yeah, that started out in like a little building, and that thing's become a
Oh, it's
monster of a program.
massive. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, when I think it was Jeff Case that started Havoc, he did a great job. It was a really good program. A lot of our girls do that. Like, they'll still participate in Havoc, but a lot of our girls are going to SIVB out of Batesville in the off seasons to go play. We had a couple go up to Munciana, which is where you get the big schools up there, and the girls that come from 4A schools playing up there. But it's amazing.
yeah, one of the trends. I know it's not that time of year, but one of the trends in basketball is actually kids aren't even playing high school.
Oh yeah.
You know, you have like the academies, and they're straight just
Yeah.
AAU, and colleges are recruiting straight out of those now, and it's just, I think it's changing the landscape of that sport, and I don't know football. I don't know if it'd be possible just because you don't see a lot. I mean, you have your all-stars and your all-states.
You
but
do. Where you see it is like some 7-on-7s, like through the summer.
Yeah.
They have kind of like what you would think of as an AAU type 7-on-7 circuit type
which isn't
scene.
going to be Olympics, or is in the Olympics now, or flag and 7-on-7.
Maybe
I think
Flag.
flag
Something's coming
football's
up.
in the Olympics, I think.
But volleyball is one that could easily
Oh, and it does. Like
be
if
year-round. It's inside and
Oh yeah, we
and
are.
everything.
I am very lucky that we're in South Decatur, because at those bigger schools there are a lot of girls that are very talented, but they won't play for their high school. They will only play for that club.
yeah.
But luckily, my South Decatur girls, they love South as much as I do, so they want to keep playing for South.
Coach
Yes.
Romer, how we looking with junior high? I know you said a minute ago numbers a little low, but
Yeah, so this year we actually have 5 girls and 4 boys. 1 boy in which we share with football. So Eli Allen is excited about, he'll go to the games. He actually was at the North game Tuesday and missed the Waldron meet, but that was the only conflict. And otherwise, we are sharing an athlete at the junior high level. So where I see the benefit is girls on the run, catching those girls young, and then we do have a camp at the beginning of August.
yep, just had your camp numbers.
So
good turnout?
usually 30, yeah. We go 2nd to 6th grade, and I usually see a great turnout. So I was just talking to her about, like, okay, do we do this twice a year, or what do we do to just get them at that level so they learn to love it early?
Right.
Otherwise, you get them at 8th grade, and then they're like, oh no, I have to run 3 miles now, not 2. And so girls on the run, you're like, oh, they did 3 miles, not so bad. So I would love to see girls on the run keep going. I know that there has been some volunteers, and coaches just, they don't happen. Like, I saw one season where I think it was last spring, and I'm coaching track at that point, so I cannot help, but I can, factor in that my girls went both through those programs at young age, and that helped huge. So I would just encourage those parents to get out there and get to girls on the run and encourage those girls to keep going.
What is your toughest course? Go ahead, Coach.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'll finish. I wanted to give a shout out to Eli Allen, but I'll wait till Coach Fromer's done.
Well, I would say
Back to you, Coach. Toughest course?
so. Brown County has been great to go to, but it's also a lot of shade. So even though it's a tough course, my kids love it down there. So we love going to Brown County, but the Evansville drive, once my kids make it to regional, not so much. So maybe the IHSA will reconsider
maybe they will
that
look at that
drive.
and reconsider.
Yeah, maybe they're
something.
listening to this radio show.
I hope so.
They're going to totally change
I'm
that,
sure
right?
I'm not the only coach saying that, but
I'll touch on that briefly because I don't understand it. So if they are listening, I don't understand the sectionals and regionals and the draws and the distance. And, I remember a couple years ago, North was the furthest one, and it's like we can't get one closer that we're, an hour and a half further away than the person you're playing. Like,
right.
that matters. That late in the season, especially, that impacts the team to load up early, to change your schedule, especially, kids that are trying to do homework and other stresses, and then you change their schedule. I mean, IHSA, I do feel, needs to balance that out better.
Yeah.
Absolutely do.
Oh, even if you travel on a Saturday, you can't be in the car that long and then run a race.
No.
And like volleyball, we really face that a lot because we're up at Morristown for our sectionals.
Yeah.
And if we get that morning draw, Morristown's about an hour drive, then we've got to figure out what we're going to do because we can't come all the way back to South if we make it to the championship. So it makes it really hard because we play our qualifying matches the same day we play the championship.
Right.
And it
You have to
takes a
figure out how to
toll on
feed
the
everybody.
girls, what to feed them to keep them energized.
I've always said, because, sectionals, you're not playing everywhere anyway. So all these schools have turf, and they have nice fields, and they're not using them. I would like to see, football, even volleyball, the bigger gyms. Why can't we use those?
That's what
Why can't you go in, east and north? They're close to a lot of our conference.
Right.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
there's other great
Just have that
turfs
central
around.
location
Why
for us
not
all to
have
meet,
'em
equal
go-
drive for everybody.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of turf, but just a nice field. I mean,
Right.
it makes sense to use it because it's not being used, or a nice gym, or a nice course, or
Right.
instead of, okay, we're going to shut down half the state, we're going to send you 2 hours away for a mediocre place.
Right.
yeah.
With,
Oh,
no
yeah.
food, no accessibility, no stay. Everybody's running to the local,
Well, and
speedway to get food that is not going to be good
yeah,
in 20
exactly.
minutes.
Yeah.
And,
Well, and it would just put pride in the kids. The kids would get so much more excited for sectionals if they were in places like that. Like you put my girls in a Columbus East gym, they're going to be on cloud 9.
Yeah.
Or if you put his kids on those football fields, they're going to be on cloud 9. They're going to feel so excited.
or another one is, why not? We have so many great universities in this state.
100%.
Why are we not playing?
Yeah.
Why are we not using those? You have, close by here. Just think, you got Earlham's a nice field. You got, Indiana Westland's a drive, but that's a nice place. And
Yeah.
Indy's nice. there's some.
Hanover.
Yeah.
Hanover's
Hannah's
nice.
beautiful, yes.
I
Yeah,
would love to
that's-
see IHSA do a better job of rewarding athletes
Yes. I agree.
instead of waiting till, semi-state and state. Oh, no, we're not even semi-state. Because in football, you're still playing semi-state at
Yeah, you're still playing semi-state at a host school. It's
Yeah.
not like it's a neutral site. It's definitely a host school. I guess with basketball, once you get to semi-state, well, regionals are
Yeah, regionals are. 'Cause
regionals are neutral sites, aren't they? Yeah,
Yeah.
regionals and
Ours are
up.
not.
But in football, it's just it only becomes neutral in the state championship game.
because you guys were at
We're at Edinburgh for regionals.
regionals.
Which Edinburgh
Right now, I
is a
think
nice
it's at Morristown
gym.
also.
Our regionals also at
I
Morristown.
think
So they
that's
shifted
what he told
Morristown.
me today. Yeah. So Morristown
Long
is sectional and
drives
regional.
this year.
Well, it's not bad, though.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No.
Morristown isn't bad. But
And
when
I
I
will say-
hear
But I do think we host sectional next fall. South
okay.
Decatur volleyball.
It's rotating.
I think.
Coach Martin had my hopes up this year. I thought we hosted it this
I
year,
did too.
and we
well,
did
at least
not.
we're not. You're not. The drive like Mitchell and those places
Yeah.
like that. Those were insane for schools to
Oh,
go
yeah.
to. So,
And again, I'm not trying to put down Edinburgh because Edinburgh's gym's just fine. I just wish when you leveled up, you just gotta go to like a little
no, none against any host
classier.
school.
Yeah,
Just
just
bigger
a
space.
They're
little
always
bit,
nice,
not,
especially
like,
the further you
Yeah.
go, the nicer they are. They roll the red carpet out. The schools are amazing.
And I know that I think
Yeah.
for volleyball state or semi-state, I think that's held at IU, isn't that?
I think so.
I think they're at IU. But I just wish we had more levels, like every
Yeah.
level. Maybe keep sectionals at the host schools, sure. But then regionals, I'm like, you need to put them somewhere.
Yeah.
All sports somewhere nicer.
And for the people that don't know, Coach
Mm-hmm.
knows, been the double duty AD and coach. Schools don't rake in all the sectional money,
No.
or regional, or semi-state. That is shared money. You put it in a kitty, so to speak, and you split it up. And
Yep.
Yeah.
host
it's
school
shared.
gets a little extra, I think.
Host school gets to keep a little extra because they host. They get to pay their work. They get
that's
to
what,
keep
a
a little
box of
extra. Plus, they
popcorn,
get
box
the
of
they eat concessions. But no, it's shared money. Yeah, it
Yeah.
definitely is shared money.
And I think sometimes fans, I paid this for the ticket. Well, no, schools aren't even seeing that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you get to the regional level, and then IHSA. The IHSA really doesn't take much of a cut in the sectional. That really stays at least within the sectional schools.
Yeah.
But you get to regional, and then they start taking.
But schools
a
are
cut.
spending money to host.
Oh yeah.
They're spending the
Yes.
money. They're spending the staffing and the coaching and the
Hospitality rooms.
and the hospitality
and-
rooms. And the further you go up, the bigger your hospitality room. And then you're looking for donations, and so somebody else is paying. So why not put athletes in a place where homeschools don't have to stress and do that? That's just my take for IHSA. So if you're listening, make those changes.
Take notes.
Take notes. Coach Martin would like to sit on the board.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, guys, winding down for this show, actually. So, two newbies, we always do a final take on here where I get quiet and I let you guys, whatever you want to talk about for as long as you want to talk. So we'll start here with Coach Fromer, your final take.
Okay. So just as far as even no matter if we have the numbers or not, we're always, creating focus boards, individual goals, as well as team goals. And ultimately in running, that's what matters is we're all together. We can encourage one another. And I've always had tight-knit teams where, we go – I was just talking, we go down to the dog shelter, we run the dogs. I take them for ice cream. We do the things like that. So I'm thrilled to even have, 5 girls this year. And whether we have a team for boys or not, we're just going to keep building at the lower level. So I'm glad we talked about that tonight as far as getting them excited about running in junior high and then even at the elementary level. Because I'm sure everybody, listening and you guys all know that it's just important for them to get to love it early. But as far as this year, we have returning Summer Masters. She's going to, her goal is just to get all conference again this year. And then I've seen over the years where all conference was top 15. Now it's top 20, or now it's top 10, excuse me. And it's harder to get there. So she was all conference last year, and that's her goal this year. She's only a junior, so she's just hoping to keep that momentum going. As well as everybody else. That's the ultimate. You're supposed to get to the point where you're PR at conference and then you PR again at sectional. So as I keep their logs for the season, I always want to see it go, their time drop. And that's the things they get excited about. So,
Coach Setliff, final take.
Oh, well, thanks for having us on here. And our girls, if you want to see a fun group of girls, come out and watch our girls. I know my girls get tired of me saying this all the time, but I stand by it. We are the team to always watch. We get underestimated a lot, but my girls have put in that work. They're changing the culture at South Decatur volleyball. They want to win. They have a drive like no other team has had in a very long time that I've coached. And we are young, and they are just getting started this year. And I'm excited to see where it goes. And if you're not doing anything this weekend, come watch us play at our first Cougar Classic.
That's so exciting.
I know, it's so exciting. We got a little trophy and everything. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
And then if you're interested in starting an elementary program with me, just call me or Coach Martin. We're ready to rock and roll. So, no, but it'll be fun. Come out and watch my girls. They're amazing.
Coach Martin, final take?
Yep, final take. So, yes, we've got Edinburgh Friday, 7 o'clock start. Where guys have had a pretty solid week of practice, and they're chomping at the bit to get to this one. We actually had I said we had a lot of bounce today at practice. They really upbeat, and they were moving around quite nicely tonight. So, I was excited. I told them, I said I needed that this week. I needed you guys to have not, a practice like you had tonight, just to let me know that you guys are still here and that you're still focused in and that this week is important to you. So, come out 7 o'clock. We've got Edinburgh, and it should be a fun night.
Okay. Before we close out this show, any fundraisers? I meant to ask that last week. Anybody you guys got team fundraisers or anything going right now you need to throw out?
No, we just ended our servathon about a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
No fundraisers going on right now.
Okay.
I think we've got all those wrapped up, yeah.
Yep.
Wrapped up, just time to do another one.
Yep, exactly. Donations are always welcome, though.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right, that concludes another show of Overtime. I'm your host, Nick Messer, and we'll be back next week at 6 o'clock with the Greensburg varsity coaches. Till then, we will see you later.